Hi, this is Stacey Bauman, and this is my Module 2, Critical and Creative Reflection. I've chosen to do a video because I just feel like there's so much to talk about and it's much easier to speak. I read The Constitutional Eras for We the People. What Reality Are You Creating? The video by Isaac Linsky. Changing Education Paradigms, the video. And Math Struggles and Slash Times, the reading. I do feel that there was a theme that connected all of these together, and that was vision and living life to the fullest and fulfilling your full potential as a human being. And in order to talk a little bit more about that, when I began the reading, I read Constitutional Eras for We the People. And first of all, I was shocked and I was mad reading it. I very much enjoyed it, but also as a non-rhetorical question for future discussion, I would like to know why we are not teaching this real history. I think this reading, this Constitutional Eras of We the People, should be part of every middle school or high school curriculum, and I don't understand why this information is being withheld. I mean, from history class, of all classes. Anyway, speaking of vision, I think it's because we need to be able, we don't want to repeat history. And if we don't learn history, then we are doomed to repeat it, I believe is the saying. So we need to look back at the real history of this country and the way that Black people were brought here, as slaves, how we built the back of this nation on slavery, and how we've gotten to where we've gotten, and how we can continue to make change and make more change in a shorter period of time that it has taken. One of the quotes from that was James Baldwin when he said, "The crime of which I accuse my country and my countrymen, that they have destroyed and are destroying hundreds of thousands of lives and do not know it and do not want to know it. It's not permissible that the authors of devastation should also be innocent. It is the innocence which constitutes the crime." Yeah. If we don't take accountability, if we don't take a good hard look and make change, whether that be as a country or whether that be as a person, and confronting your own personal biases, then if we don't want to know it, then we're not going to learn it, and we're not going to change, and we're not going to learn, and we're not going to grow. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed this piece, even though it pissed me off. I just found it massively upsetting that in 2005, our government finally, in 2005, apologized for for the 700 Black men being lynched in Mississippi from 1882 to 1930. I mean, a little too late, but they did take accountability that they never criminalized lynching. I guess it never occurred to them that murder was wrong. And however, in 2005, all but Mississippi's state senators apologized and took accountability for our government for not doing the right thing. And that is disgusting, and I think that needs to be taught in those names. Thad Cochran and Trent Lott need to be known. Moving on to the video of the TED Talk by Isaac Lindsay. He was impressive. He has definitely accomplished so much in life, even if he were sighted, and the fact that he is blind just makes it even more amazing. But he said, what you see impacts how you feel, and how you feel can impact what you see. And I think that can really be applied to biases, personally held, or those held by a country. I mean, back in when our education system during the Industrial Revolution, which was also touched on in the following video by, what was his name? Where he was talking about, changing education paradigms, where he was talking about how our current educational system is based upon what the Industrial Revolution, and that our biases were to not educate the poor or unsure the Black because they wouldn't benefit from it, because we had been cultured as a country that in order for slavery to be okay in our minds, we had to think less of Black people and dehumanize them. So it's, this continuing trend that then was built into our school systems way back in the industrialization period that we're still clinging to. And so biases of an educational society, biases of a nation, or biases of an individual person is how I took the quote, what you see impacts how you feel, and how you feel can impact what you see. Two very different people can look at the very same interaction between, say, a Black person and a white person, and have two completely different truths of what they are seeing. Also, what I liked was him talking about learning to live without fear or blockages. This was Isaac Linsky. And to realize that those shortcuts and rationalizations and excuses are just excuses, and that they are backward swimming fish, or in other words, you're like self-made barriers to realizing your potential or your missed opportunities or missed chances at relationships and intimacy with others. Again, vision was, looking forward, making changes, making improvements, always continuing to learn, continuing to adapt, which is, if we move on to the reading of Math Struggles and Slash Pines, which I enjoyed. I thought it was funny. I liked how he was talking about how his students thought he was crazy because he was, kissing the tree and talking about how beautiful nature was. I liked his style of writing. It was humorous. However, one of the true takeaways from that was he was talking about an air plant, and adaptation equals learning. And learning is the means that all of life has to continue to exist. If we don't adapt, we don't continue to exist. And I think that that's true of some wildlife, as he was talking about the Atala butterfly continuing to adapt even though we've taken away its main shelter, or the slash pines that we have a very, like 1% or something, that are still existing because they have learned to adapt, or air plants that decided millions of years ago not to no longer grow in the soil. That we as people need to commit to constant learning and adaptation, because change is constant. And if we keep trying to do, once again, the same things the same way, we're not going to move forward, we're not going to adapt, we're not going to change, and we're going to get left in the dust. Once again, not bettering ourselves. So some specifications that I would like to apply to myself and my career and moving forward with this would be to stop expecting all my students to know how to do school the way I do school. I need to make better effort to draw connections from what they are bringing to the class as prior knowledge to the new info we are teaching, and I need to make it more relevant. And how I'm going to do this is I'm going to get to know them. I'm going to take a page from my TESOL class, and there was a great idea given there by an author that she said she writes a letter at the beginning of the year to each one of her students, which I can totally do because I only have like 22. They're adults. I teach at Palm Beach State. I teach dental assisting. And then I can have them respond to me, and it will be about what I like to do, things I like to eat, places I like to go, a little bit about my family, my hobbies, where I'm from, this, that, and the other, and then have them write back to me, and not for the class, just for me or the other instructors. And then that is a great way to get to know them right off the bat starting in August. And I hope to really be able to connect a closer class community this year by taking a lot of this information that I'm learning in this class and others. And by doing that, I'd also like to share some of these videos during the school year and talk about them again as a class community. And I'm going to be bringing these things to the table when we have our curriculum collaboration in July. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm going to stop talking now because it's been almost 10 minutes, but I really enjoyed these readings and these videos, and I will see you again soon. Thank you.